Septuagint Psalm 50, verse 5. Hati tenanomianmu ego ginosko, kai he hamartiamu enopian muistin diapantos. Translation: For my lawlessness I know, and my sin is before me continually. Verse 5 introduces the third section of this psalm, so I want to zoom out for a minute and consider the psalm's structure. Verses 1 and 2 contain the superscription. There we see the liturgical comment, eis tautelos, and the literary setting that tells us it's a psalm of David after he had gone into Bathsheba. Then in verses 3 and 4 we get supplication. Here David is appealing to God for mercy. These verses contain two imperatives each. Have mercy and blot out in verse 3, followed by wash and cleanse in verse 4. Now we get to the section in verses 5 to 8 of David's sinfulness in deed and condition. One of the ways we recognize literary structure is by watching for discourse structure, which is what the word hati signals here. This hati introduces explanatory material that supports what precedes, namely the four imperatives in the two prior verses. Here, hati signals something of a digression, which extends through verse 8. Now, verses 5 to 8 are not less important, but they don't advance the discourse, which picks back up in verse 9 with further imperatives: purify me, wash me, and so on. Now, why does this matter? Answer: translation and exegesis. When we translated the verse, we said, "For I know my lawlessness," but we did not use "because." This might sound pedantic, but verse 5 is not introducing a cause, as if sins should be washed and cleansed due to David's knowledge of them. Translating with "for" better captures the backgrounded nature of verses 5 through 8. We have colloquial expressions in English that do the same kind of thing. We might say something like, "O God, wash me thoroughly from my sin, 'cause I know my transgressions."